What if the psychosis you are treating is not a primary psychiatric illness at all? What if it is a completely reversible structural brain disorder? Welcome back. Today we are doing a rapid-fire Q&A on the high-yield reversible structural causes of psychosis that every neuropsychiatrist must have on their radar. Stick around for the crucial red flags that could literally save a patient's life. Question 1. How can a stroke cause psychosis and what are the red flags? Answer. Psychosis can happen after an ischemic or hemorrhagic brain injury, especially if the right hemisphere or the limbic system is involved. We usually see this with lesions in the right temporal lobe, right parietal lobe, basal ganglia, or thalamus. The clinical red flags to look out for are the sudden onset of paranoid delusions, visual hallucinations, or delusional misidentification syndromes right after a suspected vascular event. The good news here is that these psychiatric symptoms often improve as the brain recovers from the stroke or with targeted treatments like anticoagulation for cerebral venous sinus thrombosis. Question 2. Can a head injury actually make someone psychotic? Answer. Absolutely. Traumatic brain injuries can lead to psychosis through direct brain damage, secondary epileptogenesis, or chronic bleeding like a subdural hematoma. The major red flags that should raise your suspicion are a known history of a fall or head impact followed by a distinct personality change, paranoia, psychotic depression, or noticeable cognitive slowing. The incredible reversible part is that getting a neurosurgical consult to evacuate a hematoma can sometimes completely resolve the psychiatric symptoms. Question 3. When should you suspect a brain tumor in a psychotic patient? Answer. Intracranial mass lesions like meningiomas, oligodendrogliomas, or pituitary adenomas can cause psychosis due to mass effect, increased pressure, or limbic pathway disruption. The massive red flags you absolutely cannot miss are new-onset seizures, persistent headaches, focal neurological deficits, and papilledema. If a patient presents with new psychosis and any of these physical signs, get a scan immediately. Surgical removal or treatment of the tumor often leads to the improvement of the psychotic symptoms. Question 4. What is the link between seizures and psychosis? Answer. Psychosis is strongly associated with epileptic disorders, particularly temporal lobe epilepsy. You have to watch out for 3 specific timelines. Ictal psychosis happening exactly during the seizure activity, postictal psychosis appearing hours to days later featuring paranoia and hallucinations, and interictal psychosis which mimics a chronic schizophrenia-like syndrome. The red flag here is a fluctuating course of psychosis linked to spells of altered awareness, staring, or motor automatisms. Controlling the seizures with antiepileptic therapy is the primary way to reverse this psychosis. Question 5. What other sneaky structural and pressure-related issues cause psychosis? Answer. There are 3 big ones you need to know. First is normal pressure hydrocephalus. The obvious red flags are the classic triad of gait disturbance, cognitive decline, and urinary incontinence. Fixing this with a ventriculoperitoneal shunt can improve the psychosis. Second is Fehrer disease, which involves basal ganglia calcification. The huge red flag here is a metabolic one, specifically hypoparathyroidism. Correcting the calcium imbalance can reverse the psychiatric symptoms. Finally, we have atrial myxoma, a cardioembolic source throwing clots to the brain. The red flags are intermittent confusion, transient ischemia, and behavioral changes. Taking out the heart tumor stops the brain emboli and the resulting psychosis. Question 6. How do you remember all of this on the wards? Answer. Just remember the simple flow. Stroke, trauma, tumor, seizure, and others. Always rule out the reversible structural causes before diagnosing a permanent psychiatric condition. If you found this high-yield review helpful for your clinical practice or board prep, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more neuropsychiatry gold, and let me know in the comments which of these rare cases you have actually seen in your clinic. See you in the next video.